Only 2?
3.
You want with 3? It's tedious. Okay. So 2. That's fine. But you can do with other one, right? With 3? Alright, so let's begin. So we'll be using 1941 series router. First, let me just write down what we are doing. So we are configuring static routing with IPv6. Version 6. So in this, we'll be using 1941 series routers. 2 1941 series routers. Router 0 and router 1. And we'll be using 2 switches, 2950T series, 2950T series router switches, and we'll be using 2 PCs, PC 0 and PC 1. And now, before we use any media, let's go to our routers first and then turn off the router, add a serial interface card, turn on the router, close the router, similarly go to 1941 series, turn off the router, add the serial card in it, turn on the router and close it. Now we are good to add, we are ready to add the cables starting from our serial interface. So serial 0/0/0 going to our other router with a serial 0/0/0 and then use a straight through cable coming from your gigabit Ethernet 0/0 going to your gigabit Ethernet 1/1, and between the PC and the switch use a fast Ethernet cable. From your router, gigabit Ethernet 0/0 to to gigabit 1/1, and from switch going from 00 to fast Ethernet 00. Now let's start putting out our addresses. So here I'll be using 2001:1:1:/64. This is my network at this side of my router, and on this side my network, let's be 2001:1:1:2:/64, and then the last network, which was between the routers, let this be 2001:1:3:/64. So these are our 3 networks. This is network 1, this is network 2, and this is our network 3 between our routers. Now let's, before we configuring our routers, let's configure our PCs. So go to PC 0, desktop, IPv6. Make sure you configure IPv6. In this, you need to assign the host address. So if you look at here, this is my network address. Based on this, I will be assigning the host address. So that host address will be 2001 colon DB8 colon 1 colon 1 colon 2. I want to keep 2 is my host address to the /64, and my IPv6 gateway will be FE80 colon 1. So you're done configuring your PC 0. If you want, you can add one more PC here. It's up to you. Let me add one more PC if you want to. So PC2. Now this one I will configure the same thing, IPv6, so that you know how to assign the host addresses. So you say 2001 colon DB8 colon 1 colon 1 colon 3 /64 FE80 colon 1. That will be your link local. Alright, so now you've done configuring the 2 hosts on this network. Now let's go on to this PC1 on the other side of the router, which is another network. Go to desktop, IPv6. So 2001 colon DB8 colon 1 colon. Now if you look at here, the network address is 1.2. So 2 colon. Now I will assign the host address as 2. Give the /64 innovation, and then your IPv6 gateway will be FE80 colon 1, which will be always your link local address 2. So with this, you configured the IPv6 host addresses on the PCs. Once you are done with this, now we can go on to these routers, and let's say this router be our Chicago router. And let's say this will be our Lake router. This is Lake and this is Chicago. Now let's go to our router, Chicago router, and go to the CLI, say no. Now first go to the global mode. Go into global mode, you type enable, and then go to config mode, say config T. Now, anytime whenever you are configuring an IPv6 network, make sure to enable the IPv6 first by using a command called IPv6 unicast routing. IPv6 unicast routing. So this command will enable the IPv6. Now you will start configuring the IPv6 configuration on 2 interfaces. If you look at here, we have fast Ethernet, gigabit Ethernet 0/0, and we have serial 0/0. So let's configure the gigabit Ethernet first. So for that interface, type interface G0/0, and then now give the IP address for this based on the network address that you have assigned. That is 2000, you say IPv6 address 2001 colon DB8 colon 1 colon 1 colon 1, right, slash 64. So this will be your interface address. Now here you also need to say IPv6 address FE80 colon 1, which is your link local address. Link local, and hit enter, and then say no shut. Now we need to configure, we're done configuring the fast Ethernet interface. We need to configure the serial interface now. So for that, we need to go to interface S0/0/0, and then we know the address that we have used for this is 2001 DB8 1.3, so I will be using that. So I say IPv6 address 2001 colon DB8 colon 1 colon 3 colon 1 slash 64, and hit enter. Now remember, this is a DCE site, so we need to configure, this is the DCE site. Let me show you that. This is the DCE site, so we need to configure the clock rate. So for this, the clock rate is going to be clock rate 128,000, and hit enter, and then say no shut. So you've done configuring the fast Ethernet interface and serial interface on Chicago router. So if you want, you can just change the name. So exit out from here, and host name, let's say host name is, I said it is Chicago. Alright, so now I change the name of our router to Chicago. So we're done configuring the fast Ethernet, the gigabit Ethernet interface and the serial interface of Chicago router. Now let's go to our Lake router. Go to CLI. Going to the global mode by typing enable. And now from here, go to the config mode. Don't forget to enable the IPv6 routing. So you say IPv6 unicast routing, which will enable the IPv6 routing. Now here, we're done with IPv6 unicast routing. Now let's configure the gigabit Ethernet interface. Interface G0/0 is the IP address, IPv6 address. What is the IPv6 address for the other side of the router, which is the Lake router? It is 2001 colon DB8 colon 1 colon 2 colon 1 slash 64, and make sure to configure the link local also. IPv6 address FE80 colon 1, type link local, and hit enter, and say no shut. to bring the status of the interface from down to up state. Now the last thing we need to configure here is the serial interface. For that, we need to go to serial interface by typing S0/0/0 and go to IPv6 address. Now at this time, remember that we use this :3 network, so the IPv6 interface on this side will be 2001:1:3:2. On the other side we use 1, so this side it will be 2/64. And then say no shots. We don't have to configure the clock rate because this is the DTE side. So at data terminal equipment side, we don't configure the clock rate. Hit enter. This will bring the status of our link to up. So now both of our networks being configured with the interfaces. I think I didn't configure the host name. Let's configure that. Host name. What is the host name for this? It is Lake. And change the name of our host to Lake. Right. So we're done configuring all the interfaces on both of our networks. Now we need to configure the static routing. So for static routing, remember that's the same way like how you configure in your IPv4 version. You have to use the network address followed by its next hop address. So if you are sitting on Chicago router, if you want to go to the Lake network, then you type IP route followed by the network address of the Lake network, which is 2001:1:1:/64. We don't give any mask because IPv6 does not have any subnet mask. So it's followed by the next hop address now. So for this, the next hop address will be 2001:1:3:2. Let me show you that right here. So this is the next hop address for this router. So for Chicago, if you want to go to Lake router, then the next hop address will be always this one, which is 2001:1:3:2. Right, and just hit enter. Right.
Missing a colon.
I'm missing a colon.
Before 2.
Oh, IPv6, I'm sorry. IPv6. You need to type IPv6. Make sure you type IPv6. Okay?
Colon before 2.
Double colon.
Colon 3, colon 2.
Okay. Oh, here, right? Sorry. :3, :2. So IPv6 route followed by the network address where it is going to and the next hop address. So we're done configuring this static route on our Chicago router. Now let's go to the Lake router and configure that we are going to this network by using the next hop address will be this one, this interface. Let's go to the Lake router and here say IPv6 route, and I want to go to 2001:1:1:/64 space followed by its next hop address, which will be 2001:1:3:1. This is what the next hop address for this will be 2001 DB8 colon 1 colon 3 colon 1 and just hit enter. We done configuring the static routing on both of our routers. If you want, you can just check by typing a command, say do show IPv6 routes. Check its routing table that it is showing you that you have configured the static routes via the serial interface whose address is 2001 DB813, right? Now if you want, you can check the connectivity. Let's go to PC0, go to command prompt and type ping 2001 colon DB8 colon 1 colon 1 colon 2 2, which is the host address of your Lake County. What happened? Did I miss anything? 2001 DB81 colon 2. Did I configure everything right here? Just check everything has been configured properly. You guys got it? Let's see if this is configured correctly. From PC1, let's try it from PC1. Ping 2001 colon DB8 colon 1 colon 1 colon 2. Let's check our configuration, guys. IPv6 unicast routing 2001 DB8 1.1./64 link local, no shots. IPv6 2001 DB8, no shots. What about the routes? Did I use the right route? Oh, look at here. I gave a completely different route. See? IPv6 route I said 1.1. I supposed to say 1.2, right? So first, before I do anything, right here you say no IP routes, no IPv6, no IPv6 route 2001 colon DB8 colon 1 colon 1 colon /64. Now you say IPv6 route 2001 colon DB8 colon 1 colon 2 colon /64. with the next hop address. What is the next hop address for this?
2001.
It is 2001. Hang on, before I do this, let me just go and say 2001 colon DB8 colon 1 colon 3 colon 2. Okay.
You said no IPv6 route.
Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, let's say IPv6 route 2001 colon DB8 colon 1 colon 2 colon slash 64 followed by 2001 colon DB8 colon 1 colon 3 colon 2. All right, this is what it's supposed to be. So now let's try one more time. There you go. Got it? So, make sure that you always assign from here, the network address was this one. The first time I gave the network address was 1.1 from here, which is not true. So you should always give 2001 colon DB8 colon 1 colon 2 colon. This was the network that you were trying to go to from here, right? Got it? So now let's try from our PC1, see if we can reach to this network. There you go. Got it? So that was how that's how you should troubleshoot it. You need to go back and see